Deep below the hot, empty Nevada desert, there is a place most people will never see. They call it Facility D-7. There are no signs, no roads, and no lights on the surface. Only sand, sun, and endless silence. But if you travel far enough, you might find a metal door, half buried, guarded by men who never speak. Inside, the air is cold and dry. The walls are grey and buzz with hidden wires. The corridors twist like a maze. At every corner, cameras watch. Most who work here do not know why. They only follow orders. The truth is too big and too strange for ordinary minds. D7 is not a prison for people alone. It is a vault for secrets. Things that cannot be explained or destroyed are kept here. Some say the world would panic if it knew what waits in the dark. Others believe the facility is alive, hungry for new mysteries. In this quiet tomb, fear is the only sound. Even the bravest guards walk quickly, eyes low, always listening for footsteps that do not belong. For decades, D7 has swallowed stories. But tonight, a new tale will rise from the darkness. Dr. Elias Crow was once a respected psychiatrist. He spoke to troubled minds, helping people find peace. Now, his job is different. He asks questions no one else dares to ask. He listens to the impossible and tries to understand the unexplainable. In Facility D7, Crow is not just an interrogator. He is a witness to the unknown. Crow's office is small and smells of old paper. He keeps a notebook, writing down every word from every prisoner. He tries to keep his thoughts clear, but the stories haunt him. Each interview leaves him colder, unsure what is real. Sometimes he wonders if he is the prisoner, trapped by secrets. His latest assignment is the strangest yet. A new captive waits in the deepest cell. The guards speak of whispers and strange eyes that see in the dark. They avoid the cell, leaving Crow alone to face what lies inside. Crow feels fear, but curiosity pulls him forward. He knows this is why he was chosen. He must find the truth, even if it breaks him. The echo of his footsteps is the only sound as he walks to meet the unknown. Tonight, Dr. Crow's world will change forever. The line between man and monster, truth and fantasy, will blur before his eyes. The cell is cold and bright. A glass wall separates Crow from the captive. The figure inside is not human, not fully. Kasara is tall, with greenish skin like old bronze, and eyes with thin golden slits. Her hands have long fingers and tiny scales shimmer on her cheekbones. She sits perfectly still, watching Crow with a gaze that is both calm and ancient. Kasara does not speak at first. She observes Crow as if measuring his soul. When she does talk, her voice is soft, almost musical. Her words are careful, strange, but clear. She says she has been waiting for someone who will listen. She has a story to tell. Crow struggles to hide his fear. He asks the usual questions about her name, her origins, her mission. Kasara answers, but her answers only bring more questions. She was captured during a secret mission near the surface. She did not resist. "I am here to talk," she says. Crow senses something powerful behind her calm. He feels as though he is staring into a deep well, one that holds memories older than the desert above. "Why are you here?" he asks at last. Kasara leans forward, and the story begins. Kasara's eyes glow with memory. She speaks slowly, her words heavy with meaning. "Humans are not the first," she says. "You are the seventh. 7 times the world has been made and remade. I can feel my heart pounding. Honestly, it's hard to keep my face calm, but my hands are shaking behind my notebook. She keeps explaining. Long ago, ancient beings called the architects built the first humans. They watched, waited, and learned. But every time, humans grew too clever. They built cities, machines, and reached for the stars. When they reached too far, the architects wiped the world clean and started again. Kasara claims her kind remembers the first creation. She calls them the Lacerta, silent watchers, helpers to the architects. We do not rule, she says. We observe, we remember. The Lacerta walk among humans, hiding in the shadows, recording every failure. I write quickly, my mind racing. Why do they keep resetting us, I ask, my voice a little unsteady. Kasara's answer chills me to the bone. The architects fear chaos. They fear freedom. Each time you break their rules, they bring the harvest. They begin again. The idea is just too big, too strange. But I can't look away. I have to know more, no matter what it costs. Kasara names the lost worlds. Atlantis, Lemuria, Mu. Each one a memory of a past cycle. She tells me about the Anunnaki, beings from the stars who taught and guided the early humans. Myths of gods and golden ages, she says, are just broken memories of former worlds. All tales of paradise lost, she says, come from resets. Every time people become powerful, the architects act. Sometimes it's fire, sometimes flood, sometimes slow decay. The world forgets, but the Lacerta remember. The truth hides in legend, Kasara says. You dream of Atlantis because you lived there long ago. I try to argue, bringing up science, history, the fossil record, anything solid. But Kasara only smiles. What you call history is only the last cycle. The rest is dust and myth. The resets are perfect. Almost nothing remains. I feel small. I think of all the stories, all the mysteries that have never been solved. Maybe they're not fiction after all, but warnings, clues left behind by those who survived before. The cycle is cruel, but Kasara's voice is gentle. Not all serve the architects, Kasara explains, but some do. She calls them calibrators. They are the powerful families, the leaders, the famous faces on screens. Their job is to keep humanity in line. They create fear, hope, and anger. They collect the energy of human emotion, feeding it to the unseen masters. Rumors of secret islands and missing people are true, Kasara says. These are not accidents, but part of the harvest. The calibrators create events to stir the world. Fear and pain are the strongest. Festivals of joy and waves of sorrow are all seeds for the architect's garden. I listen, horror growing inside me. I think of the names I know, the faces in the news. I imagine a world run by hidden hands, every tragedy and triumph arranged. Why do they need our emotion, I ask, my voice barely above a whisper. Kasara's answer is simple. Emotion is power. It shapes reality. The architects hunger for it, and the calibrators deliver. This is the true harvest. My pen slips from my hand. I feel dizzy, as if the world has shifted beneath my feet. The interview ends, but I can't move. Kasara's eyes seem to hold me in place. She leans closer, her voice softer now. You think this is a prison, but the real cell is inside you. Every human is locked in flesh and bone, memories wiped clean again and again. She explains that at every reset, people forget. They lose their families, their stories, everything they loved. Their lives are harvested for emotion, then erased. You all start over, believing you are free, she says. but the cycle never ends. This is the seventh harvest. I want to scream, but my voice is just gone. I see my own life, my pain, my joy, my lost loves, as small pieces in a bigger machine. I wonder if I have lived before, if I have met Kasara in another world. The thought is honestly too much to bear. Kasara sits back, silent again. I leave the cell, my mind broken open. Above, the desert sleeps on. Below, secrets wait for the next harvest to begin.
The ones who see the bars, they call them schizophrenics, abductees, prophets. They are the early harvest markers. Files cascaded across the screen. Grainy photos of underground chambers, ritual altars slick with something dark, children's drawings of tall lizard men in suits, Epstein's private calendar, marked with symbols that match Sumerian cuneiform for harvest.
Ask yourself, human, why did your masters let this drive reach the surface? Why now? Because the cycle is ending. Iteration. 7 is overripe, the architects are coming, and when they do, the calibrators will be culled first, starting with the ones who failed to keep the farm quiet.
If this is true, what happens next?
The unveiling. We watch from below, you scream from above, and then reset. Again.
Somewhere in the dark, a harvest was already beginning.